This is Aso TV News. I am Jummai Jabril. The headlines. Federal government intensifies negotiations with tertiary unions, urges dialogue over strikes. FCT Minister Barrister Wike flags of infrastructure project in Guzape and Asokoro. Police temporarily suspends enforcement of tinted glass permit. The federal government has appealed to all academic and non-academic unions in the nation's tertiary institutions to continue embracing dialogue and cooperation as ongoing negotiations for improved welfare and working conditions reach an advanced stage. Speaking in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, reaffirmed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's firm directive that Nigerian students must remain in school while the government intensifies efforts to permanently resolve the long-standing industrial issues affecting the tertiary education sector. Dr. Alausa emphasized that the administration is fully committed to maintaining industrial harmony, assuring that the government is working round the clock to deliver a fair, realistic and lasting agreement that addresses the concerns of both the academic and non-academic unions. Now, according to him, the technical working group comprising representatives from the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, the Budget Office, the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, and the Solicitor General of the Federation has been meeting extensively to conclude government's position on the reviewed conditions of service.
A medium to talk to our unions. Don't use strike as your first resort. We know you've been patient, but these are issues that happened decades ago, 2 decades ago. But this president, we have a president, the president of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that believes fervently and benevolently in education. And it's giving us all the political will to resolve this problem once and for all. And as I've said repeatedly, we will resolve it in a holistic, comprehensive manner, in a manner that is mutually respectful to the unions, to the trade unions, both academic and non-academic.
The expanded negotiation committee chaired by Yayale Ahmed is expected to conclude its harmonized report and forward it to the unions in the coming days, paving the way for the signing of new, sustainable agreement that will usher in a new era of industrial harmony and uninterrupted academic calendars across Nigeria's tertiary institutions. Meanwhile, the Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SANU) and the Non-Academic Staff Union (NASU) University of Abuja branch has issued an urgent appeal to the federal government to address critical issues affecting non-teaching staff across Nigerian universities. National President NASU Dr. Makolo Hassan, addressing journalists after a protest at the University of Abuja main campus, highlighted a series of unresolved challenges dating back over 15 years, despite repeated negotiations and industrial actions. At the heart of their demands is the implementation of the 2009 federal government SANU-NASU agreement, which the unions say has been neglected for over a decade.
5% and 35% salary award that was given to us by government. It was not negotiated, and the arrears are still outstanding. We're asking you, please pay all this money. How much is the money? What can the money do in the market now? Nothing. You know, that is still hanging there. Then we are asking the government, because you propelled us into a strike in 2022, and we wrote an agreement at the end that nobody will be withheld, and you refuse to pay us our salary. That is withholding. And the government said they were going to pay the half of those salary. The half of the salary was paid. At the end of the day, 2 months is still outstanding. We're asking the government, where is the 2-month arrears? Give us this outstanding. And apart from that, the 2 months that were paid, there are third-party deductions that are still in the hands of IPPIS up till now.
The chair of SANU, Dr. Nuruddin Yusuf, and chairperson of NASU Union Abuja branch, Mrs. Sadia Hassan Ibrahim, also condemned the government's failure to revisit and renegotiate the 2009 terms, especially in light of worsening inflation and deteriorating university infrastructure.
Before then, the last was on the 22nd of September. It was the 22nd of September meeting that the union gave government an extension of 2 weeks. Rather than addressing the issue, another committee was set up called Expanded the Highly Armed Committee. These issues doesn't need almost of this committee. If at all at best, it's just to renegotiate the internal agreement. But for this payment, we don't need any committee for that because government had all the figures and they have all the facts of the matter. And what by saying that, at least to show good gesture or good faith with the negotiation, government should first release the 2 months salary unconditionally. Release the third-party deduction and pay areas of 25%, 35%, because it has been budgeted for. You don't need a committee for this. While if you don't see these gestures from government, we also reciprocate and go back to the negotiation table so that we reach the 2009 agreement because it's long overdue.
So the reason.
But the one of that 2 months that we are talking about is still hanging, and no explanation from IPs, no explanation from the federal government. So we want our money.
The union stated that despite extending their deadline in good faith, the government has failed to meet their critical demands. As a result, union branches across the country have been directed to commence a series of protests and media campaigns to press home their grievances. The unions are therefore calling on the federal government to intervene urgently to prevent further disruption in the university system, stressing that a swift and fair resolution would not only improve staff welfare, but also preserve the integrity and functionality of Nigeria's higher education institutions. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Asonye, has flagged off the provision of engineering infrastructure to outstanding layout within Guzape A09 and the AIT neighborhood in Asokoro district. Barrister Wike said the project reflects President Bola Tinubu's commitment to expanding road networks and ensuring balanced development across Abuja. He warned against the indiscriminate naming of streets by individuals, stressing that only contributors to the city's growth would be honored, and urged the contractors then to deliver the project on schedule while engaging local youths.
We have said we will continue to provide basic infrastructure. We will continue to do all we can to see that Abuja takes a different look, competes with other cities of the world. Let me commend Dantata and Sao, an old company, indigenous company, but having some foreign content, but local content fully, but having some foreign content, which is supposed to be. I have no confidence in you that you deliver on schedule. I want to advise the youth the experience to complete these jobs on time so that our people will benefit. Because Mr. President has promised all of us, not only just those in Abuja, those who are living also outside Abuja, that there will be a difference. And that's the essence of within the Hope agenda. If things were good, we wouldn't have had the New Hope agenda. But because things were bad, and there's the need to rekindle the hope of Nigerians, that don't lose hope. We're here to bring back the hope that you have lost.
Minister of State for the FCT, Dr. Maria Mahmood, said the project demonstrates the administration's resolve to make OFCT district accessible and well-serviced. She explained that the new road network will open up the district for development, enhance connectivity and ease traffic congestion across adjoining routes. Mahmood praised the National Assembly for its legislative support and commended Wike for his dynamic leadership.
A moment that speaks not just about progress but also promises, as have been highlighted. Today we are witnessing another bold step in transforming the great city of Abuja by providing this engineering infrastructure to the outstanding layouts in Kuzape, lots 1, 2, and part of Asokoro. These are testaments to the vision, commitment, and also dedication and determination of the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Our greatest gratitude goes to His Excellency, Mr. Project, whose leadership continued to set a pace for growth and development in the FCT. It is under his direction that some projects that we were seeing far and distant are now standing before us as a reality. We thank you, Mr. Project, sir.
The Acting Executive Secretary of the FCDA, Engineer Richard Dauda Yunana, said the contract awarded to Dantoto and Sau covers about 9.2 kilometers of road and related facilities, including drainage, water pipelines, electricity, and street lighting. He disclosed that the project approved by the Federal Executive Council is expected to be completed within 18 months and will significantly improve accessibility, security, and living standards in Guzape and Asokoro districts.
Your Excellency, the project was awarded to Mr. Dantata and Sawo Construction Company Nigeria Limited in March 2025, and the project is expected to be completed within 18 months. Your Excellency, the scope of works for this project includes provision of infrastructure to about 24 short roads, totaling about 9.2 kilometers. This infrastructure to be provided also includes earthworks, surface water drainage pipe network, asphalt paved roads, box and pipe culverts, foul sewer drainage network, water distribution pipe network, street lighting, power supply, and telecommunication ducts.
When completed, the project is expected to open up new residential and commercial opportunities within the area, reduce commuting challenges, and contribute to the FCT administration's broader vision of transforming Abuja into a modern and inclusive city that meets global urban standards. Alhaji Usman Yahya, the Gwagwalada Area Council APC chairmanship candidate, paid a courtesy visit to the Agora of Zuba Palace, accompanied by the serving vice chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Alhaji Saidu Abdullahi Zuba. During the visit, Alhaji Usman Yahya sought the Emir's blessings and support for the forthcoming FCT Area Council election in 2026. He expressed his loyalty to Zuba Palace and the people of Zuba, stating that it was his second home. The Agora of Zuba, Engineer Mohammed Bello Umar, appreciated the candidate for visiting him and his kingsmen and urged all Gwagwalada Area Council chairmanship candidates to promote unity and avoid causing disunity and damage within Zuba and Gwagwalada. The visit was attended by notable personalities, including the Council APC Chairman Alhaji Ahmed Baba and other party faithful. Alhaji Abdullahi Suleiman Sabo, the chairman of Kuje Area Council, is dedicated to transforming Kuje into a better place. A statement issued by the chairman, Senior Special Assistant, Media and Publicity, Nuhu Mohammed, said the chairman is working tirelessly to provide essential social amenities and infrastructure, fulfilling the government's responsibility to its citizens. However, according to the statement, some individuals are misusing the system, expecting the government to cater to their personal needs rather than focusing on the community's overall well-being. These financial vampires, and that is on quotes, lazy individuals are hindering development and progress. Now, in a passionate appeal, the statement urges Kuje residents to recognize their efforts, their potential rather, and not to rely solely on the government, as government can always provide enabling environment and necessary support for the residents to harness their potential. It concludes with a call to action, encouraging Kujerians to vote for Zankwoyi to drive further development and growth in the area. The Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development has expressed strong commitment to creating long-standing impression on the global aviation business landscape through the successful launch of the Nigerian first ever International Air Show. In a press statement signed by the ministry's permanent secretary, Dr. Abubakar Ibrahim Kana, the air show will provide a platform for the nation to showcase its local potentials, attract investors, and ultimately establish itself as a strategic hub for aviation and aerospace activities in Africa. As part of effort to reducing bottlenecks and enhancing transparency within the ministry, Dr. Kana went on to state the ministry's digitization drive for its internal processes, which according to him will reduce human errors, minimize paperwork, and establish a transparent audit trail. The statement further added that in line with the global best practices, the ministry will continue its recently introduced performance management system as a basis for promotion. It stated that the reform is a shift from the culture of entitlement to one of meritocracy. Dr. Kana emphasized that staff welfare and the task of preparing the workforce for the future in aviation is at the core of the ministry's ongoing reform processes. He expressed his commitment to consolidate on the gains achieved through the reform process by ensuring that the nation's aviation and aerospace sector continues to remain a key driver of the national economy and its strategic development. The National Orientation Agency, NOA, says it will soon launch its artificial intelligence application aimed at strengthening civic engagement beyond the recently concluded campus debate. Speaking at the just concluded National Campus Debate, the Director General of the agency, Malam Lanre Issa Onilo, said the application is already available on iOS and will soon be released on the Android Play Store. Malam Lanre Onilo explained that the app was designed as a real-time feedback tool for citizens to assess information on government activities, report challenges on their communities, and connect with public institutions for solutions. He encouraged young people to stay informed and engage with NOA through its official website and social media platforms, imploring them to uphold integrity, discipline, and patriotism in their studies and beyond. The DG also cautioned youngsters against involvement in cultism, drug abuse, and unwholesome graduation practices, describing them as alien to the nation's culture and destructive to the society. The chairman organizing committee of the debate, Mr. David Akoji, said the contest was not only a platform for the promotion of civic values, but an avenue to promote leadership and national unity amongst Nigerian youths. You're watching Aso Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We're also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, police temporarily suspends enforcement of tinted glass permit. Stay with us for more stories.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind to it, live the life that you remember.
Don't score.
Stay connected. Stay with us. Starting from Yanga and Jolly.
The Nigerian Police Force has announced a temporary suspension of the enforcement of vehicle tinted glass permit. The announcement followed the meeting between the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetekun, and a delegation of the Nigerian Bar Association led by its president, Afam Osigwe San, at the force headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. In a statement, the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Benjamin Hundayin said the NBA delegation's visit focused on issues surrounding the enforcement of the Motor Vehicles Prohibition of Tinted Glass Act 1991 by the police. According to him, the meeting also provided an opportunity for robust deliberations on matters of mutual concern, particularly the need for synergy between the police and the bar in upholding the rule of law and promoting public confidence. While noting that no clear court order currently prohibits the enforcement of the Tinted Glass Act, the police explained that the decision to suspend enforcement was taken in the interest of the public and out of regard for the NBA. The force urged all vehicle owners to take advantage of this window to regularize their documentation and ensure full compliance with relevant laws regulating the use of vehicles with shaded or tinted glass in Nigeria. IGP Ogbatakun reaffirmed the force's commitment to enforcing all existing laws with fairness, transparency, and respect for citizens' rights while maintaining effective collaboration with key stakeholders in the justice system. The Bureau of Public Enterprise has reaffirmed its commitment to efficient and transparent service delivery through the full integration of Savicom principle across its operations. The Director General of the BPE, Mr. Ayodeji Ariyo Balayi, made this known during the Bureau's 2025 Savicom Day Symposium in Abuja, themed Reforming Responsibly Through Effective Service Delivery. He said the agency's progress reflects its alignment with the National Mission Possible agenda for public service excellence. According to him, through various reforms and professional practices, the Bureau has positioned itself as a trusted knowledge hub for investors seeking opportunities in Nigeria. Dr. Sami Kuku, the guest speaker, praised the Bureau's dedication to service excellence and transparency while urging the agency to sustain its reform effort to strengthen Nigeria's economic environment and accelerate national growth. Acting National Coordinator of Savicom, Anthony Oshim, who was represented by Mrs. Ngozi, the Head of Operations at the Savicom, commended the Bureau for prioritizing transparency, teamwork, and citizen-centered service. She stressed that employee experience is the new customer experience, urging the Bureau to invest in staff motivation, technology, and continuous feedback. The event brought together members of the National Assembly, anti-graft agencies, and other stakeholders. Notes that the Bureau continues to position itself as a trusted knowledge hub for investors and a driving force behind Nigeria's economic reform under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. The Association of Women Town Planners, FCT chapter, has called for collaborative effort among stakeholders to ensure the proper resettlement and integration of internally displaced persons residing in Durumi IDP Camp, Abuja. The call was made during a visit by members of the association to the camp, where they also assessed the living conditions of the displaced resident. Our correspondent completes the story.
We appreciate you for listening to what they've told.
Speaking during the visit, representatives of the association emphasized the need for government to prioritize the resettlement of the IDPs back to their original communities, while also making the camp temporarily livable by providing basic social amenities such as water, healthcare, and access roads. They also stressed that where relocation proves difficult, proper integration into host communities should be considered as an alternative to enable the displaced persons rebuild their lives.
In the FCT, we do not have IDP camps, and unfortunately there are no regulations that will allow it, so all we can do is to accommodate it temporarily before government resettles these people.
In town planning, when we do designs, we put how the whole area is supposed to be governed. That is why we have the zoning system. But where they are now, it's not a residential area. It's an IDP camp. It's just a temporary structure.
The women town planners also urge IDP residents to cooperate with government agencies and development partners in efforts aimed at achieving sustainable solutions to their situation.
Because they are doing demolition, or they are pushing us from our markets that we are doing for the roads sometimes, so we are still like a wickedness. But as they come, they explain it to us, we understand that anything that if we are following the instruction, we cannot get any mistake with with government. So we understand that everything that they are doing with the planner.
Yeah, we have heard a lot from them. They educated us, they sensitized us about the importance of town planning, how it increases safety, how it reduces the prevalence of floods, and so on and so forth.
The association used the opportunity to call on other stakeholders, including humanitarian organizations and private bodies, to support initiatives that will enhance the welfare of the internally displaced population.
Now, an advocacy group known as the New Nigeria Initiative for Better Leadership and Ambassadors of the Renewed Hope Agenda has called on citizens to support the continuity of President Bola Tinubu's administration to sustain its ongoing reforms and development projects. National leader of the group, High Chief Adolf Agbala Izobu, addressed a news conference in Abuja, highlighting some milestone economic reforms of the President's Renewed Hope Agenda, including the removal of fuel subsidy and the harmonization of the foreign exchange market, amongst others. Elizabeth Kashim has more.
National leader of the New Nigeria Initiative for Better Leadership and Ambassadors of the Renewed Hope Agenda, High Chief Adolf Agbala Izuebu, said the bold step of the President Tinubu's led administration is glaring enough and worthy to be sustained. He said the Renewed Hope Agenda is a catalyst to the economic challenges of the country, curbing the era where a few individuals profited from round-tripping and the majority of Nigerians languish in poverty.
The people need to know that the Renewed Hope Agenda is out to uplift them and that it is committed to their entire well-being as a platform where the dividends of democracy will reach all corners of the country. As ambassador of the Renewed Hope Agenda, we pledge to practically mobilize support for Mr. President in all his policies and programs. We work tirelessly to ensure that the benefits of this initiative reach every corner of our great nation.
High Chief Agbala Izuebu commended President Tinubu for his unwavering commitment to transforming Nigeria, noting that the nation is currently witnessing groundbreaking investments in the landmark projects such as the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and the rehabilitation of major roads aimed at improving national connectivity. He also applauded the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, for his ongoing infrastructural transformation across the nation's capital. Also speaking, Director General of the group, Mr. Monday Abua, said President Tinubu deserves all the support of citizens to sustain his progressive governance in Nigeria.
As far as he can see, know that he's taking us to the promised land. Therefore, all I can say to Nigerians is let's key in, follow him, and he will take us to the promised land. Even Dubai was started by a visionary too. He is our great visionary. Therefore, let's key in and give him all the support that he needs. We can see that the structures he's putting in place, there are structures that our children of youth of the future would build on, and they are solid structures. Therefore, we stand with him, we are ready to work with him, and we'll go all the whole hog with him.
The New Nigerian Initiative for Better Leadership and Ambassador of the Renewed Hope Agenda, as an organization established exclusively to drive the realization of President Tinubu's Renewed Hope Agenda, is resolute in its mission to ensure the success of the vision across all sectors of Nigeria's national development. Elizabeth Kasham, Aso Television News.
On business, African University of Science and Technology has urged for participation of relevant stakeholders in the forthcoming African Energy and Climate Change Conference 2025 to institutionalize decision-making on climate change for better outcome. The president of the university, Professor Peter Azikwe Nwalu, alongside the local organizing committee, made the call at the pre-conference briefing with newsmen in Abuja, pointing the need to coping with climate change. Correspondent Ila Emeje tells us more.
The President, African University of Science and Technology, AUST, Professor Onwalu, in his remarks, highlights the necessity of decarbonizing the ecosystem for better business environment.
So the idea of
looking at scientific ways of mitigation of climate change. It's about decarbonizing the economy in such a way that the energy systems we are using should shift from carbon-based systems such as the petrochemicals to bio-based systems that are renewable. And that is why the theme of this conference is about the future of energy and climate change.
Professor Onwualu pointed efforts of the university on climate change.
This center here in the university is a center that is created to conduct research and use the products of research to impact on the economy by working with private sector, government agencies, development partners, and so on, for us to increase our understanding of what climate change is all about. And by understanding, having deeper understanding of what climate change is, then we will now be able to come up with solutions, come up with initiatives, especially grassroots initiatives.
Earlier in a welcome address, the Secretary of the Local Organizing Committee, LOC, for the upcoming conference, AFRECO 2025, Engineer Michael Nozier, reiterated food security and systems response through the platform.
AFREC seeks to bridge that divide, connecting science to governance and governance to action. Through this platform, we are building a continental framework that situates climate action as the foundation of industrial competitiveness, food security, and human development.
The LOC Secretary expressed optimism of better outcomes from the conference while noting commitment of the AUST.
AFREC 2025 is a call to the African Union and the African member states for coherence, for collaboration, for continual leadership. It is about positioning Nigeria and Africa not as a victim, but as an architect of resilient, knowledge-based solution preference.
Also speaking, the lead Awards and Fundraising Committee, Dr. Peter Oji, highlights sustainability plan and expectations.
To raise African sustainability and innovations, to see that the sustainability is a practical project. It's not just something that you just speak about, it's something that you work towards for effective working of our system.
According to them, the AFRECO 2025 conference is not just a call, but an ideal of excellence for adaptation. Ile Emeje, Aso Television News.
And that's the news. But before we go, a look at one of our major stories. The federal government has appealed to all academic and non-academic unions in the nation's tertiary institutions to continue embracing dialogue and cooperation as ongoing negotiations for improved welfare and working conditions reach its advanced stage. Thanks for watching. I am Jumai Jabril. Bye for now.